Hello students, once again welcome back to English Literature Classroom. Today I am going to teach the book New Radiant Reader 8, Chapter 1, The Man of the Island. Come on, let's start. This is an extract from one of the world's best known books of adventure, Jim Hawkins, who tells the story. Okay, it's an extract from one of the world's best known book of adventure. Okay, Jim Hawkins is telling the story. Now, who is Jim Hawkins? He is the cabin boy in a ship that has sailed towards an island in search of treasure hidden by pirates. Now, who are pirates? Sea robbers are called pirates. When the ship anchors near the island, some of the crew who are found to be shady characters bent on murder and loot are allowed by the captain to go ashore. Jim quietly goes with them. Okay, now Jim also went with those shady characters, okay, and run away from the party as soon as they land. Now let's start the chapter. From the side of the hill, which is steep and stony. Okay, side of the hill was steep and stony. Some gravel was dislodged and fell rattling and bounding through the trees. My eyes turned quickly in that direction. Okay, Jim is telling that his eyes turned quickly in that direction. He saw a figure leap with great rapidity. Okay, with great rapidity, he saw a figure, okay, behind the trunk of a pine. What it was, okay, whether a bear or man or monkey, he could not understand. It seemed dark and shaggy, more I knew not. Okay, now he's telling that he doesn't know any other thing. I was now, it seemed, cut off upon both sides. Behind me, the murders. Before me, this lurking creature of the woods. And I preferred the dangers. Okay, now he preferred that some dangers are going to take place that I knew to those I knew not. I turned on my heel and looking sharply over my shoulders began to retrace my steps in the direction of the boats. Okay, now he was going to the direction of the boats. Instantly the figure reappeared. Once again he saw the figure. From trunk to trunk it flitted like a deer. Okay, now from trunk to trunk he could see that figure like a deer. Okay, the figure was looking like a deer, running man-like on two legs. But he was running like man on two legs. But unlike any man that I had ever seen, stooping almost double as it ran. Now it was stooping almost double as it ran. I stood still and cast about for some methods of escape. Now he thought of some method of escape. And as I was so thinking, the recollection of my pistol flashed in my mind. As soon as I remembered this, courage glowed again in my heart. Now, as soon as he remembered it, what has happened? Courage glowed again in his heart. Okay, he was full of courage now. And I set my face resolutely for this man of the island and walked briskly toward him. Now he was walking briskly. Okay, briskly means fast. He was walking fast. He was concealed by this. Concealed means hidden. Okay, by this behind another tree trunk. But he must have been watching me closely. Okay, now Jim thought that he must have been watching him closely, for as soon as I began to move in the direction, he reappeared. Okay, as he began to move in his direction, that man once again reappeared and took a step to meet me. Now that man wanted to meet Hawkins. Okay, Jim Hawkins. Let's see the question. For how many years Ben Gunn did not speak with a Christian? Okay, this I will teach later on. Okay, just see the question. Ben Gunn did not speak with a Christian for 3 years. Okay, let's continue. Okay, now then he hesitated, drew back, came forward again. Now that man, okay, hesitated, drew back and came forward again. And at last, to my wonder and confusion, threw himself on his knees and held out his clasped hand. At that, I once more stopped. And then he saw that man. Okay, now let's say the question, what was matooned? Okay, this matooned also I have not yet taught, I will teach. Okay, it was a kind of horrible kind of punishment common among the buccaneers. Okay, let's continue. Who are you? I asked. Now Jim asked that person, who are you? Ben Gunn, he answered. Now what did that man tell? His name is Ben Gunn. Okay, Ben Gunn, he answered, and his voice sounded hoarse. Okay, his voice was not sweet. It was hoarse. Hoarse means rough and very awkward also. Okay, like a rusty lock. I am poor Ben Gunn. I am, and I have not spoken with Christian these 3 years. Look what Ben Gunn is telling. He had not spoken with any Christian for last 3 years. Okay, I could now see that he was a white man like myself. Now Jim could properly see that man. Okay, Jim saw that he was a white man like Jim. His skin was burned by the sun, but his skin was burnt due to sun. Even his lips were black. And how was his lips? His lips were also black, and his feared eyes looked quite startling into a dark face. Okay, darker face. He was clothed with tatters of an old strip canvas and old sea cloth. Okay, and now look, that person was wearing sea cloth. Okay, and this was all held together by various brass buttons and bits of stick. Okay, now 3 years I cried, were you shipwrecked? Now Jim is asking that person, 3 years you have not talked to a Christian. Okay, were you shipwrecked? Naimode, and he said marooned. Okay, now what did he say? Naimate. He said marooned. I had heard the word. Okay, now Jim is telling that I had heard the word and I knew it stood for a horrible kind of punishment. And now Jim told that Jim know this word, this maroon. Jim knew it. It was a horrible kind of punishment, common enough among the buccaneers, in which the offenders is put ashore with a little powder and shot. Now in this punishment, offender is put ashore, okay, with a little powder and shot, and left behind on some desolate and distant island. Okay, and in this punishment, the man is left behind, okay, on some desolate and distant land. Okay, let's see the question. What did Ben Gunn eat in the island? Okay, answer is goats, berries and oysters. Okay, let's continue. Marooned 3 years ago, he continued, and lived on goat since then and berries and oysters. Okay, that man was marooned 3 years ago, and what did he eat? Okay, in that island he used to eat goats, berries and oysters. And what do you call yourself, mate? Jim, I told him. Okay, now Jim asked that what you called. Okay, Jim says he's quite pleaded apparently. Well, now Jim, I have lived that rough as you would be ashamed to hear of, but I had a pious mother, remarkably pious. Okay, now that man is telling, okay, that I had a pious mother, okay, and I was civil pious boy myself, and I myself was a pious boy, okay, could rattle off my catechism that fast as you could not tell one word from another. And here's what it has come so, Jim, but I have thought it all out here in this lonely island, and I am back on piety. Yet I am bound I'll be good, and I see the way too. And Jim's looking all round him, lowering his voice to whisper, I am rich. Okay, and what did he tell? That I am rich. I now felt sure that the poor fellow had gone crazy. Now Jim thought that this person had gone crazy, and I suppose I must have shown this feeling in my face, for he repeated the statement hotly. Rich, rich, I say, and I will tell you what, I will make a mean of you. Let's see the question. How was Ben Gunn's voice? Okay, hoarse and awkward like a rusty lock. Okay, now let's continue. Jim, Jim, you will bless your stars. You will. You were the first that found me. Okay, now that man was telling Jim that you were the first that found me. And at this, there came a shadow over his face. He tightened his grasp upon my hand and raised a forefinger threateningly before my eyes. And what did he do? He raised a forefinger threateningly before my eyes. Okay, let's see the question. What type of clothes did Ben Gunn wear? Old ship's canvas and old ship's cloth. Okay, with this I'm concluding this video. In my next video, I'm going to bring something new. Until then, goodbye.